Alright, welcome back to the Rising Empires League Division 2, hosted by Rising Empires. Obviously. So we've got Pleco here as the green French player. His teammate. The third time in the series, only Cams. In the pink on Chinese. So we're here on this play till 3, play all 3 series. And these guys have won the first 2 games over this team from Team Real, consisting of Altair and Alucard for this third game, but they've both only appeared once in this series, with their other teammate of Vortex Reload playing the last 2 games. So we've got Altair on the red as China, and Alucard as Abbasid in the yellow. And once again we've got a game where there's a Civ picked once on each side, and then a Civ picked, a completely different Civ picked for the next player for each team. And this is interesting. We've got a large gold mine spawning right next to Pleco here. So we're here on King of the Hill, and he's been very lucky to have a gold mine spawn on the lowest level here. Normally it should be probably up here. I mean, look at this gold mine for Alucard. It's up on the hills. A little bit less safe for him to get, whereas this is quite nice that Pleco's closest gold mine is actually a large one, which, that's not supposed to happen. So Cam's going for an early village, as well as RTS, so this will actually save them. It's the cost of 2.5 houses to get the population space of 4 houses, and on top of that, you can actually garrison in these. They have a little bit more health than a regular house as well, so just quite nice and safe, and a good economic decision to make if you can gather a little bit of early wood to be able to get one. So players, going for the wood gather trick where you can actually gather wood, then build either a mill or a mining camp and actually deposit the wood. Normally, with a mill or a mining camp, you obviously can't, but when you've just completed a building, your villagers will automatically drop off any resource at that building, if it's a drop-off building, before they go on to actually gathering more. So it's one of those things that makes people go, oh, China takes a big brain to play. It's so much harder than all the other civs. Yeah, right, mate. Sit in your base for 45 minutes and you just automatically win. I mean, what? Sorry if I offended any China mains. So I'll tell you, going for a Barbican. He's looking to try and push Pleco off this gold mine here. Pleco only is seeing the edge of this go up. In fact, he might not even see that color change of the grass there, let alone knowing what actual building is going up. But his age up is finishing. This Barbican's going to be able to push those villagers off. Pleco's going to have to try and gather from back here, possibly even over here. The problem with gathering here is it's pretty easy for your opponent to just put a tower down right here. So Pleco losing a villager and nearly losing another one, actually. So this cheese from Altair, this forward Barbican, it's already really paid for itself, because now he'll just probably look at gathering to get his... where is it? Why does it say that he's still got to advance to feudal? Come on, why does the game do this? Anyway, you can get a summer palace. And actually, we've got a forward Barbican here from Only Camps. Yeah, Altair. Sorry, not Summer Palace, Imperial Academy. So he can get twice the tax generation from any of these drop-off buildings or any of the military production buildings around. And no one will say no to free gold. Altair is going to be a minute or two before he can actually take Pleco off this rear gold mine here. He's going to have to try and get Horseman or Zhugnu of his own now to try and really pressure that. And Pleco is already going to have access to Knights. So Altair's having to try and distance gather a bit of wood before he can actually throw down a lumber camp. And then on top of that, he's going to want to get some towers or some villages there just to actually garrison his villages in the event this knight shows up again. So Alucard now going to have to deal with the knight coming his way. Let's get a little bit of stone. So he can go for a second town centre now. He's gone for Eco Wing and taken Fertile Crescent. Getting fresh foodstuffs now as well. So he'll be able to go for that nice Abbasid 2 or 3 town centre build. But only Kansas delayed the town centre by having the scout here, and Alucard hasn't realised and tried to drive off the scout or try and place the town centre anyway. So this is really rough for him because this is delaying his second town centre immensely here. And on top of that, Pleco will be able to kill a villager. Oh, but a villager attempting to go for a forward building here is not going to be successful because Pleco, you can see it, they're just one-shotting the villager. Don't know why he did the dance so much there with it. Just showing off perhaps. Intimidating his opponent, letting him know that even though he's been pushed off the starting gold mine, this bullshit starting gold mine, it's cool. I'll catch your proxy. I will stop any attempt to force me off another gold mine. What he's saying to Altair here. So yeah, actually forced to try and wall off this segment of space between himself and his ally just to prevent Pleco from running any more knights through. Or Pleco gathering some more stone. He wants to be able to go for a third town centre now. Pleco just getting the knights, chasing Altair's scout Alucard. Third town centre in work in progress. Only Cams just sitting back. Gonna start adding some Zhugnu and spears. Altair with good position for the spears because he is going to be able to get one of the knights there, so that's really nice pick up for him. Rough for Pleco. He's just looking to try and find space into his opponent's base at the moment. Very nice control that time with the knights to not throw them away in the face of the spears. He's also struggling to try and find easy access to Alucard's base now. So forcing back Pleco. Only Cam's just massing up the units for the time being. Alucard going for the third town centre now on this hunt. It's been a bit delayed, but he's going to get it eventually. Spears chasing the knights here, but Pleco just kiting the spear past the Barbican, so it's going to fall pretty quickly. Now Altair's going for a forward tower, trying to deny that gold mine, but there is already a tower here to protect it from Royal Pleco. So Cam's creeping forward. He's got a couple of Zhugnu in the mix here. Has even taken his range damage upgrade from his blacksmith. He's still got that tower down there, but he hasn't actually got anything going over to build it. He's probably best off cancelling that and just throwing up another building. He's going to try and snake his way past. I'll tell you, he's going to add a ram here and really start putting the pressure on his French opponent over here. And that goes probably going to want to commit to a range of his own, or have Camps come over and give him some form of assistance. Camps has his hands full over here with Alucard, just making his presence known, getting a ram of his own. And we've got range starting up over here for Pleco, with that tower being cancelled there by Altair. He's finally realised he can get a bit of free wood, put it towards a second battering ram. If he hasn't got 175 wood just sitting idle there on the ground in an unbuilt tower. Pair of rams ready to go in here. It'll take quite a while before the archers can work through these. A lot of spears and a lot of knights here, and the knights will not come out on top, but they will be able to take the ram really low really quick. In fact, if this goes off a second time, I'll tell you, I could risk losing that ram over here. And he comes up to 3 rams chipping away at Alucard's town center. It looks like he's going to be able to get it, and on top of that, it puts this production under a huge amount of pressure. The second town center, well, the third town center there for Alucard falling, while Altair trying to get a second ram out here and start pushing, taking out the school of cavalry. We are going to see some archers join the mix here for Royal Pleco, so he'll be able to back up his knights very easily. Have them focus down the ram, have the archers focus down these spearmen. Altair is going to have to start transitioning to Zhug Nu here, or he is going to find himself outclassed in this unit composition race. Archers going to struggle against that many spears for now, but we're seeing triple range for our French player, while his ally over here, the other player of Team Real, Alucard, still struggling to turn back only cams at the moment. Attempting to take out the barracks there. Triple range production versus single range production. This is going to be scary for Altair. The longer he's pushing without getting a lot of value, he's going to need to try and take out the stable or the school of cavalry, maybe even some of these houses. Or even come over this side and take out this instead, change his angle of attack, not having to attack into that town center with its range damage. Even attacking to the outpost would be preferable, because you can take that down a lot quicker than the town center. And Alucard trying to hold out against only Camps here, who's gone all the way up to 5 rams. So a lot of villagers are falling in the defense of this. A lot of military production set to go down with Alucard's at the moment as well. Still a ram left here for Altair, but he's having to be a bit careful. Only Camps is actually well overgathered on wood here. Spent a lot of food to get his clock tower, so he's probably going to back off here and get his castle age units out. Looks like he will at least finish off this first town center of Alucard's, as well as kill a lot of villagers. Really undo the fact that his opponent has gone up to 2 and then 3 town center. We just might be able to get one of the other rams, but it's just a bloodbath at this point. Alucard's score is dipped well below the other players here, and he's left himself with pretty much no villagers while trying to defend this town center here. And meanwhile, Altair doing well to push into Royal Pleco, but their scores are pretty even in spite of this forward Barbican and the ram push. Pleco's managed to defend this quite well. Either that or Altair probably needed to change up and try and pressure where these ranges were going down and on that main, that gold mine for the French player. Because he's now going to be able to come forward onto this gold mine as well, not have to worry about climbing all the way up the hill to go on one of these other large gold veins. It's actually quite a quick transition here from this one once he runs out, and he also even gets the food straight off the bat because Altair hasn't now started pressing up through here and, you know, potentially denied or destroyed all the production that's over here and that wood gathering that's going on. So only Cam's now adding a fuckload of rams as his castle age has kicked in, so he's also gonna just save up a little bit, start getting some nested bees as well. And this French army is a nice mixed composition to deal with. What about Altair is about to throw at him because he has also managed to fit in age 3. So Altair has access to his... Oh, he's gone Imperial Palace. Rather than going for the astronomical clock tower, he's gone for Imperial Palace. Which is going to mean, instead of access to superpowered siege, not really superpowered, it's got a bit of extra health. He can see where enemy villages are on the map, but for that to be worthwhile, you need to be in the position where at least you, and if not you, your entire team, can actually go and do a bit of raiding value, because right now, it's a little bit of a dead weight. It's all it's really done is told Team Real where the opponent's gatherers are, and neither of the Team Real players are in the position to actually capitalize on that intel. In fact, Alucard being forced out of here, which is especially painful for him, because now he's not only being attacked by Cams, he's also having his recovery hampered by Pleco here. Pleco dipping slightly behind Altair on score, but he's able to really hold off this ram push really well so far, and even if he loses a School of Cav now, I don't think it's mission critical for him. He can always just throw up another stables or two. Just try and drag things out here and just wait until only Camps is able to force Alucard and Altair to both spend a bit of resources and attention back here. We do have Zhugnu. We do have veteran Spearman, but we don't have veteran Zhugnu just yet. Well, only Camps is on the sacred site. Pleco, a town center looks to be about to fall. He's not in the position to replace it with another town center just yet, but I think this is a nice fight for him. He's able to really whittle down the Zhugnu count. Pretty much just ignoring the spears at this point. He's able to send some villagers to come in and repair the town center. Altair has overstayed with the rent, and now they're all going to fall pretty much for free, because these guys are an expensive 250 wood unit. So it looks like Pleco is able to save his town center. He's just got to send a village or two to repair it. And this is looking really rough because only Cams is now pushing into both players of Team Real. He's pushed into Alucard already. He's forcing Altair to have to double back. And Alucard's base has been shattered. He's just starting to get some more military production once again. Only on single town center Abbasid at this point in the game, after committing to 3 town center. So Cam's sort of throwing this fight away, but at the same time it's given his French ally the ability to fit in his age up. Pleco's not even worried about repairing his town center at this point. He does have that Royal Institute as well, so his knights are going to really have a big uptick in health soon with that Royal Bloodlines upgrade, 35% increased health. And the Central Sacred, for now, is still safe. Alucard's actually brought whatever forces over he can to try and support Altair, but it's been a really rough time for him at the moment. He's trailing behind everyone on score in terms of... in terms of score, he's trailing behind everyone by double or more. Altair. Barbican falling now. He's going to start losing this barracks and range that he's got out here. As that spear's going to fall pretty quickly. And Cams is still pressuring that gold mine. Now he's got access to Royal Guards. Altair is trying to deny this defensive keep from going up, because then he can prevent his opponent from getting even more stone. And the spear count's really being thinned out while trying to chase this down, which is perfect because he's got a huge mass of knights still yet to come through, and Only Cams is also starting to add some horsemen. Altair having to try and gather from Alucard's base here, taking his allies' original berries there. The horsemen not quite numerous enough to overwhelm these archers, while at the same time Only Cams being attacked, or having his attackers repelled at the moment by Altair, but it's not the best of compositions to take it down with spearmen and some palace guards and some Zhugnu in the mix against just pretty much pure Zhugnu palace guard. There is even a couple of horsemen in the mix there too. But Pleco just making sure to guard the sacred site. And he's also got his archers in on the woodline of Alucard, making it extremely difficult to gather now. He's starting to recover back over here, but he's still only on single town centre. And Cams and Pleco continuing to punish Altair now. They know Alucard's a little too far behind to try and catch up and get back into the game for at least a few minutes now, so if they can put Altair behind, he can pretty much be over here and now. So it's largely coming down to Altair and Alucard being able to defend from here, and unfortunately they can't. So they lose the series 3-0, Team Real to Team 7 Town Centre Gigachads. Man, some of these team names are just an absolute mouthful to say, I swear.